Hey there, welcome back to the channel, or as I like to call it, our little corner of the internet. I'm very excited to go over these clips with you today. I hope everybody is being safe. The weather is insane out there, just across the board. So just be safe, my friends. We're going to get right to it and have some fun. Remember, this is for entertainment. And let's just be happy. Let's go.
The Mississippi lawmakers filed a bill that could make casual sex illegal. It's called the Contraception Begins at Erection Act. The bill's text reads, quote, "It shall be unlawful for a person to discharge genetic material without the intent to fertilize an embryo." And it proposes a $1,000 fine on the first violation, second violation a $5,000 fine, and a third violation and more would be a $10,000 fine. The sponsor is a Democrat from Jackson, Mississippi. Fox 13 has reached out to his office for a statement on this proposed bill.
I don't even understand. I mean, obviously, this is not going to pass. You can't tell married couples that they're not allowed to enjoy each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is insane. And to say, I can't talk about this too much here for sake of not getting the video banned or anything, but they're trying to say you can't. Mississippi, come on, get a grip. Get a grip, guys. This is not possible. You can't tell people that they can't enjoy one of the basic functions of life. Crazy. Crazy out there. We're just going to go ahead and set the tone right there. Wild. I still can't get over that. I was gonna play more about it, but just in case any small humans are watching, I didn't want to get too detailed, but you got the idea there. Feel free to look that up yourself. It is 100% real and crazy. 2025. That was a nice one. I had not seen this clip. And you can check the time. It's not sped up or anything. We'll watch it again. In real time. The seconds just go. Seems to be back in December, but what do we think that was? Do you think drone action? Do you think UFO? What did you get from that? My AI folks.
One of the most exciting things we're working on, again, using the tools that Sam and Masa are providing, is a cancer vaccine. It's very interesting. It turns out, I'll be quick, all of our cancers, cancer tumors, little fragments of those tumors float around in your blood. So you can do early cancer detection. If you can do using AI, you can do early cancer detection with a blood test. And using AI to look at the blood test, you can find the cancers that are actually seriously threatening the person. So we can, again, cancer diagnosis using AI has the promise of just being a simple blood test. Then beyond that, once we gene sequence that cancer tumor, you can then vaccinate the person, design a vaccine for every individual person to vaccinate them against that cancer. And you can make that vaccine, that mRNA vaccine, you can make that robotically, again, using AI in about 48 hours. So imagine early cancer detection, the development of a cancer vaccine for your particular cancer aimed at you, and have that vaccine available in 48 hours. This is the promise of AI and the promise of the future.
So you're telling me that through AI, we can figure out what type of cancer you are most prone to and then develop a personalized vaccine. So they look inside you, figure out what they want to mess with, and then they make you your own little potion. I, I don't know who's gonna be okay with that. I don't want that. I don't want that at all. Especially with so many other remedies kind of making the rounds that are I would rather trust some plant that somebody tells me if I do this in conjunction with something else and water twice a day or some crap, like, I'll be better then. I'm gonna believe that more than I'm gonna believe an AI made vaccine that is targeting me in some way. How do you feel about AI vaccines? One more on him. One more on this guy. Oh, also, he is I think he's the CEO, someone in charge. He's in charge of Oracle, if you are familiar with Oracle, but we're going to learn more possibly in this.
Designed body cameras. Our body cameras cost $70. Normal body camera costs, I don't know, $7,000. Our body cameras are simply lenses, two lenses attached to your vest, attached to the smartphone that you're wearing. And we actually take the video that the police officer is, by the way, and the camera's always on. You don't turn it on and off. And by the way you turn it on, you can't turn it on. I'm going to the bathroom. Oracle, I need 2 minutes to take a bathroom break, and we'll turn it off.
Okay, I believe you. Are you kidding with this? Wait, it gets better.
The truth is, we don't really turn it off.
Who's shocked?
What we do is we record it so no one can see it, but no one can get into that recording without a court order.
Oh, so you record everything that I do all the time, even the stuff that is extremely private, so that if someone gets a court order and they want to see what I was up to, they can see that at any given point. What is this? What is this, guys?
Get the privacy you requested, but a court order, if you get a court order, we will, judge,
Here's why I don't trust this too, because court order, we're implying that I've done something wrong to warrant that. And when we all know that that is not the way this stuff works, you can just see how things are going in Hollywood. If somebody knows something, what happens? They go down. It doesn't matter what happened. They go down. Their reputation is shot. It's all part of a plan. And you're telling me that if you want to look into me or see some private stuff, you're telling me that someone can't be like, I suspect that Deb, she needs to be investigated. And then you can just look at my life. No.
can order, I want to look at that, this so-called bathroom break. If there's something comes up, and plus, I'm going to lunch with my friends, or going in an hour for privacy with lunch with my friends. God bless. We won't listen in unless there's a court order. But it's interesting. But we transmit the video back to headquarters. So headquarters and AI is constantly monitoring the video. Take control of the situation. We have, same thing. We have drones. We just, if there's something going on in a shopping center, and I'll stop. A drone goes out there, get there way faster than a police car. There's no reason for, by the way, high-speed chases. You shouldn't have high-speed chases between cars. You just have a drone follow the car. Case in Memphis where the 5 police officers basically beat to death another citizen in Memphis. Well, that can't happen because it would be on TV at headquarters. Everyone would see it. Your body cams will be transmitting that. The police will be on their best behavior because we're constantly watching and recording everything that's going on. Citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on.
Doesn't this sound a little familiar? One of those social credit systems.
And it's unimpeachable. The cars have cameras on them. I think we have a squad car here someplace. But those kind of applications using AI, if we can use AI, and we're using AI to monitor the video.
Citizens will be on their best behavior because we are constantly recording and reporting everything that is going on. That might be one of the most chilling things I've ever heard. What is your mindset if you think that is a perfectly normal thing to say out loud in front of a room full of people? That's absolutely unreal. I think everybody wants safety and security, but at the expense of recording everything and processing everything with AI, that just, that's disgusting.
Okay. So this reminds me, I'll tell you a story. If anybody wants to hear it, if anybody doesn't, you can feel free to skip forward. I know I talk a lot, whatever. Welcome to Deb on the web. I don't know. I had a friend in the past who was very into prepper stuff. And when I say this, I mean he was an older person that I met through work and became kind of like a family friend type thing. And he was so convinced that of like, World War III impending doom that his entire house was just a it was very unhealthy. It was like the craziest hoarder situation you've ever seen. I'm talking like vehicles, like ambulances and all of these materials you couldn't possibly take with you if you it was nuts. I won't even go into detail. It's not my place to do so, but he did all this and he woke up at dawn and he did all of these things because he wanted to be ready for when that went down. And I'm telling you, lived like this for 15, 20 years. So this is an example of doing all of these things in everyday life that are affecting your quality of life. I mean, he's been divorced. His kids don't talk to him. He is it's a very tragic thing to see happen. And I feel like this is kind of the same thing. The same example of you're doing all of this excess in your life just to catch the the instance of criminality or however you want to say it. But most people aren't really doing anything to warrant being monitored like this in every second of their life. So you're impeding and imposing the masses to try and but that's not really what it is. It's really just all dominance and control. And there's moderation. You can't do something this extreme just because of the possibility. What kind of life is this? How do we have joy anymore? How do we have any private moments of anything if you're always feeling that you're under surveillance? It's bad enough. If you're out anywhere and do anything embarrassing or just want to have any privacy, someone's there with a phone. So I don't think this is necessary. And quite frankly, it scares the bejesus out of me. The first thing I want to say, and I promise not to interrupt anymore for a while, but what phone can zoom this well?
Is it a cross? Heck no, it's not a cross. What is that? Like a. Whoa. Let me see it. Dude, it looks like a dude in a suit. It looks like Iron Man. What the heck? Jonathan, what in the world? Probably the super. What is that?
Might be the super people, Maldakians. Yeah.
I don't know nothing about no Maldakians.
Straight up and down. Might be them. Oh yeah. You'll know when you guys see them.
It really does look like a person at some angles. It's in my opinion, my very expert opinion, it's clearly a hologram, right? It's a hologram. But why? Just another test?
Martín. Jonathan, what the heck is that, dude?
It looks like a person almost.
It almost looks like a person, right?
Yeah, it looks like a person almost. Yeah, exactly. Jonathan just said it looks like a person. So there.
Do you think it almost looks like a person, though?
But then when it turns, it doesn't. It's really odd.
Arms are moving.
I mean, it appears.
Like a person, but it's so. What does it look like? Does it look like honestly, at one point it looked like, yeah, the marginal end of it. Oh, well.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on that? I think we can all agree it's not something. I mean, it's something, but it's not a ship of some sort. It definitely appears like some sort of optical illusion, like the hologram or blue beam. Look at this. I've never in my life seen a sky like this. Purple skies in Florida.
I don't know if you guys can tell, but the sky in Florida right now is so purple. Like the whole sky is just purple, dude. Look at this. That is so cool. Wow. I don't know if you guys can tell.
That is very cool. Has anyone else ever I've seen the pink skies, the blue skies, all sorts of pretty skies, but never a purely purple sky. Very interesting. Look at that. And you can tell by the cars and the buildings that it's not like it's altered. I mean, I guess it could be, right? With a filter or something. I just don't think so. The sky is purple in Florida, guys. Meanwhile, that a lot of snow. A lot of snow. Someone said he's seasoning the road. This is kind of funny. Uh, the caption of it, I believe, said that Florida was not prepared for what happened, and this is about all they could do. But I'm sure that is an exaggeration, but very funny to think. He definitely looked a little paradey, right? Like in a parade, just throwing confetti out. Maybe they don't know how it works. You need more than that. This doesn't happen there. Guys, this is serious.
The UK has been battered by 114-mile-per-hour winds as Storm Eowyn forces schools and supermarkets to shut, with chaos on the roads and trains and planes cancelled. The storm now poses a danger to life for many. It is expected to continue to damage buildings, uproot trees, and cause power cuts. Rare weather warnings have been issued for Scotland and Northern Ireland as the Met Office anticipates gusts of up to 1,000 miles per hour along coastal areas. Glasgow and Edinburgh airports said they are limiting operations today, and a number of train companies, including Avanti West Coast, Lumo, Cross Country, and Grand Central, have also told customers not to travel on routes across parts of North Wales, Scotland, and Northern England. Pictures show telegraph poles left dangling and trees blocking roads.
Over 100 miles per hour out there. Well over. We're talking 114 plus. There's a little more on that. We've got some record-y weather going on everywhere.
715,000 homes without power. You can feel the gusts now. Goodness me. You can feel the gusts and being blown from both directions. It's quite extraordinary.
Record wind speeds have already been set this morning in Ireland. A gust of 183 kilometres an hour has been recorded north of here, County Galway, Mace Head weather station.
We're going to do one more on this because it's wild. Thank goodness for that. No one is believed to be seriously injured. And I'm understanding the temperature is in the negatives. So everyone out there in the UK, we are with you. We are praying for you. Please stay safe. Don't do anything you don't need to do, please. And just be safe. It is not worth whatever's out there. It's just not. Be safe, my friends, please. Praying for everyone in California, praying for everyone down south, praying for everyone in Florida, praying for everyone out in the UK. I mean, it seems like we all could all use some prayers right now. So let's just put a collective positivity from all of us to all of us, and that everyone may be safe.
Is that Jesus Christ? Please. Please, our Father God. I can't see it no more. Oh no, it's right there.
Hello? I'm gonna come home right now, babe. Vanessa, do you mind moving your car so I can go home?
You don't think that's balloons?
No, I'll go bring my car keys.
Looks like it's coming down.
So, one thing I want to say about this is I don't know about each and every one of these clips. The first one, I tend to believe because the dogs, the dog saw it. Um, the other day, I had to go to Walmart and I had to go get chicken feed. So driving down the road, and there's a bunch of trees. There's a little forest area,
26 de diciembre de 2018.
and I mean they're very tall trees, a forest. And above the trees, I saw this exact thing. Attributed to being a trash bag, of course, sped up to try and chase it down, and did not see it again. I couldn't find it anywhere. So the belief is, of course, well, it descended back to the ground. That thing was up above the trees and it looked weird. In my head, I was like, oh my gosh, this is one of those things right before my very eyes in my own town. I saw it, guys, the other day. I don't have video. I got out my camera immediately, but got away.
Una 24 de la madrugada, el doctor Jaime Lune Becerra y su hija tuvieron un encuentro con una extraña entidad, la cual bajó flotando del cielo sobre...
That looks like a mylar balloon to me. I don't know though. How are these things just floating? You know? I mean, I guess a mylar balloon would do that because it has, yeah. That first one though. That first one got me.
Y entonces se alejaron.
Sometimes these things look a little staged to me only because I think, what are the odds it would happen right
Esta
now?
toma se puede observar claramente cómo desciende del cielo y después avanza
Okay.
a unos centímetros de la calle de forma horizontal. Al finalizar las imágenes podemos ver con más claridad la extraña forma de este ser que de...
This is happening everywhere, apparently. The thing I saw was black, though. It very well could have been a trash bag.
De un centro de salud, una misteriosa entidad que incluso es vista de cerca por uno de los guardias quien el día de hoy ya no labora más en este sitio y al parecer enfermó debido a la cercanía que tuvo con el ser. Una entidad que venía flotando lentamente se acerca y después se aleja.
What do we think this is? What do we think these are? Trash bags? Mylar balloons? Entities of sorts? I need answers, guys. I need them from you. This one is a myth, so, or an urban legend, if you will.
This is the true story of Lechuza, and it's purely horrifying. In 1901, the Appleby family lived a quiet life in a small New Mexico town. A father, mother, and their two little boys. One stormy night, there was a knock at their door. The father opened it and found an old woman standing in the rain. Her eyes were strange, almost scary, but she begged for shelter. Feeling sorry for her, they let her in. That
They had to, because they probably saw Beauty and the Beast, and they knew that if they didn't, she would steal their soul, put it in a rose, and then some chick who reads a lot would have to come save them.
night, the family heard strange noises, scratching, knocking, and whispers. They were too scared to check and stayed in their rooms. By morning, the woman was awake and ready to leave. She thanked them and refused food or money before disappearing into the storm. 2 days later, the father vanished. There was no sign of him anywhere, and the family was heartbroken. They searched for years but never found him. Time went on. The boys grew up, became successful, and decided to rebuild their childhood home. While tearing down the walls, they found a jar covered in strange symbols and a paper with unreadable writing. They felt uneasy and destroyed both, burning them in a fire. The next day, their father returned, walking into the yard like nothing had happened. He didn't remember much except one thing, Lechuza. The family realized the old woman wasn't just a stranger. She was Lechuza, the witch of legend, and her curse had haunted them for years.
I have looked into Lechuza. This is an actual myth, urban legend, however you want to say it, folklore. So, who knows? Some of us believe that folklore originated in something truthful, and some of us believe that it's just stories. But regardless, this is an actual story out there. For anybody looking for an update on what's been going on since we've gotten our not new president.
Things in mind, and we're getting the Army Corps of Engineers all set. You need your riverbanks fixed. You need a lot of roads fixed, and we're going to get it done in rapid time. And I've asked Susie Wiles and all of my people to start calling up, get the Corps ready, and they're going to get ready to go. I don't know what it is. I don't know what took so long for the other administration, but remember, I wasn't here for the first 4 months or 3 months, whatever it may be. See, we can only start as of essentially 1 or 2 days ago, and we've made a lot of progress over the last couple of days, Michael. I understand we're going to get you the resources you need and the support that you deserve, and we'll be at your side through every step of the rebuilding, and no American is going to be left behind.
That's really nice. So the caption here just says, President Trump just announced to the victims of Hurricane Helene that he is deploying the Army Corps of Engineers to rebuild their bridges, roads, and riverbanks. So getting it back up and running rather than decimated as it stands. It's progress, and it's nice to see someone caring.
I was just like relieved, and it didn't really hit it.
So this is a really beautiful story. Western North Carolina residents who've been sitting in FEMA hotels for months are being moved rapidly into long-term, fully furnished apartments.
And until I walked in here and saw a kitchen table and a bed, and I was like, oh my God, you guys got me cups. I mean, it just had just enough to where I could bring in my own things. And then I started crying when I saw the bed, because it's just very comforting. I'm like, oh, I get to stay here for a little while. So that was nice. And then we did hugs with the FEMA guys and Gordon, who helped me get in here. And then the dogs somehow knew that this was where we were going to be for a minute, and had a band of a time. And I just sat in here and was just like, yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay for a minute. It's a great relief.
That woman probably has not felt peace in so long. What a nightmare. I'm so grateful that her dogs are okay and that she was able to have them where she was. But I'm so glad that this is all coming together and people are actually being helped now. It just seems wild. It seems like it's so easy all along, doesn't it?
Breaking news, the U.S. House of Representatives has adopted a bill to stop the California gas vehicle ban. Now, this is some good news coming out of Washington, D.C., and your voice matters. The U.S. House of Representatives has passed a Preserving Choice of Vehicle Purchase Act. If you want to track it, it's H.R. 1435 from Representative John Joyce of Pennsylvania. The bill passed with bipartisan support of 222 to 190, with 8 Democrats joining their Republican colleagues to advance this legislation. The legislation prohibits the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, or the EPA, from issuing a waiver to California for regulations that would ban the sale of new vehicles that are not gasoline powered. They had to be all electric with internal combustion engines, or ICEs, in the state by 2035. This would be great if we can turn this over. H.R. 1435 would amend federal law to block attempts to eliminate the sale of vehicles with internal combustion engines. Further, this legislation would restrict the Environmental Protection Agency from issuing any future waivers that would ban the sale of new motor vehicles with internal combustion engines. The Preserving Choice of Vehicle Purchases Act was introduced in response to the California Air Research Board, also known as CARB, which I find amusing, not carburetor, but decision is effectively to ban the sale of new cars by 2035 in an effort to force automakers to cease development and production of new gasoline-powered vehicles. Representative Joyce led the fight to ensure Americans can choose the type of motor vehicle that meets their needs best. That means electric vehicles, hybrids, plug-ins, gas, diesel, whatever you want. He quoted, "The last thing my constituents want is another oppressive Biden administration mandate that puts a radical environmental agenda and far-left special interests above their individual freedoms," said Congressman Joyce. "There is nothing more consequential to Americans than the freedom of the open road, and I'm grateful that my colleagues for supporting this important legislation protecting the freedom of all Americans to drive vehicles of their choice," close quote. I just think it doesn't make a difference who's in office. You should have choice, because it's about your freedom to choose what works for you. Now, the House Energy and Commerce, or ENC Committee Chairperson Kathy McMorris-Rodgers of Washington State shepherded H.R. 1435 through the committee in July, and chair of this committee, which has jurisdiction over automotive issues, the Clean Air Act, McMorris-Rodgers has been a lead advocate for technology and neutral vehicle policies. 17 other states have similar bans of internal combustion engines that would be triggered if the EPA approves this California request, said Chairman McMorris-Rodgers. This affects 40% of the United States new vehicle market, and companies don't customize vehicles for every state, so it eventually would impact everybody. Because no matter what state you're in, they're not going to build a vehicle just for your state. They're going to build one vehicle for all. So to date, 14 of the 17 CARB states, they're called, these are the ones following the California Research Board, have begun adopting regulations to follow the California Zero Emissions Vehicles known as ZEV mandate, that's Z-E-V. The existing ZEV regulations are also onerous that Stellantis, a member of the Big Three, has stopped shipping gas-powered Jeeps to dealers in those states, and customers that want gasoline-powered vehicles have to place a special order or buy it from another state. U.S. Senator Mark Wayne Mullen of Oklahoma, the co-chair of the Congressional Automotive Performance and Motorsports Caucus, love that title, introduced Senate 2090, if you want to follow the bill, S-2090. It's a Senate companion bill to the H.R. 1435 and includes the same bill text. The House and Senate version of the Preserving Choice of Vehicle Purchases Act now await consideration on the Senate Environmental and Public Work Committee. Now, this is something we need to get passed, and the White House, in a recent quote, said it strongly opposes the bill set to be voted on this week by the U.S. House of Representatives that would prevent California from receiving federal waivers to set standards limiting the sale of new gasoline-powered vehicles, and they're going to try and stop this bill from crossing the Senate floor as well. The bill faces long odds of winning approval in the Senate, where Democrats have made boosting electric vehicles a top priority, but it might pick up some Democratic support in the House, and the future of cars could be a potential political issue for 2024 for Congress and for the White House. So it's our job to contact your elected representatives and tell them what you want and that you support this effort.
I'm sure you can guess where I stand on that. And I reserve the right to change my opinion, but I think it's very important that we have gas-powered vehicles. I think there's a huge danger in electric vehicles because it's not you with ultimate control. If somebody wants to shut it down, they can shut it down. If somebody wants to force it to drive you somewhere, if it's a self-driving vehicle, they can do that. It's a scary level of control to me. They have their benefits and prove to me that it's really making the world a better place and you're not going to abuse it. Maybe. That's why I reserve the right to change my opinion. But for now, I'm putting that in the AI category of distrust.
Here at, night, 11 o'clock at night, how many people normally you have here?
Probably, 6 or 8 here at night.
Okay. And most of them are sleeping in, or were sleeping in one of these rooms, okay?
Yeah, we have 2 other stations as well, about 12 to 15 total a shift.
Yeah, okay.
And then when that storm actually happened, like during the night, I think it was around 4:30, 5-ish, it's still really dark. We had all 3 of our stations were all isolated from each other because of the storm damage. We had our station 2, they ended up on a little island, and you can see it here in the pictures here in just a minute, but they ended up being forced back to the station, and then the water came up all the way around it, and they were basically stuck on an island. Captain Hill here was at our station 3. The bridge got some damage and debris on it to access the back road where our station is located. Well, he lived 3 days, and him and his crew lived 3 days under the gas station awning that you pass coming in here. So that's where they had to stay for literally 3 days.
To stay 3 days, yeah.
So Tom, who's going to pay to rebuild all of them? Is this a FEMA thing that's going to help?
It'll be a combination. If you take a look at the roughly $50 billion in damage in North Carolina alone, it'll backfill some of it. We're going to. Well, but beyond that, it's the funds that we used to rebuild the Canton Fire Department were additional grants, not directly out of FEMA.
Okay.
So a lot of the tail of everything we're going to have to do to rebuild the communities are not necessarily in this initial tranche of disaster response. That's why I've been trying to explain to some folks that are saying, oh, we got to start at 30 billion. That doesn't even cover 2/3 of what North Carolina needs, not to mention South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, all the ones that got hit by Debbie, got hit by Milton, got hit by Elaine.
Got it. Okay. What do you all need? Just help rebuilding this fire station? I mean, what else?
You know, feel however you want, but I am happy to see people actually out there. I mean, Trump's been in what, 4 days? He was inaugurated 4 days ago, and he's already down. His very first trip is down to North Carolina. He knows where he's needed. Personal stuff aside, it for me, it's nice to see people actually involved because I don't recall seeing any of those last guys in these situations or talking to these people and making them feel heard. It was a disaster. We all know that. So, one sec. Sorry. My buddy had a hairball. I hate that sound scares me so much. I've heard it like 4 trillion times, but anyway.
All the residents here in New Jersey are going to get disclosure, and it's going to come soon.
All right, that's some good news there. And that's what I wanted to ask you, Mayor. I mean, based on, what residents there are saying, what your constituents are telling you, what do you think is going on in the skies?
I mean, it's tough. Every time I see a video, my opinion seems to change. I mean, I've recently been watching and spent some time with the videographer out of Long Island. I mean, he has orbs, these glowing orbs of light on camera that as you watch them right before your eyes, they seem to transform into a mechanical drone. So I've actually watched it myself where these orbs are glowing balls of light, different blinking lights all over the place. And as it gets closer to you, you actually see it transform into a drone. Whether it's a drone from the beginning and it's being obstructed by bright light, I can't tell you, but it is cause for concern. We have looked at flight tracker data. We don't see any airplanes in the skies. These things are absolutely some kind of phenomenon that's happening just over our homes. We need answers, and we need them quickly.
I believe we are going to get answers. I do. Now, if they're all 100% true or the actual full story, I doubt. But I think there will be some sort of answer on this drone thing soon.
Come here right now, Paul. Come here right now. Paul, right now. What is that? What is that? What is that?
Paul is so much more chill than his friend. All right, we're going to go with our happy clip of the day now.
This stray dog decided Dollar General was the best place to go shopping for her very own human. She slipped through the automatic doors and wandered the aisles until she spotted Ray, who was shopping for groceries completely unaware of the fact that he was about to be chosen. She ran up to him and Ray plopped her in his cart and asked the employees if they knew anything about her. When they said that she had just wandered in on her own, Ray called animal control for help, worried that she might end up in a dangerous situation. They said they couldn't come until the next day, so Ray agreed to take her home for a sleepover. She quickly settled in, and Ray even found all of the dog-related shows to watch with her so that she'd feel at home. And when she let out a deep sigh as if it was the first time she had ever relaxed in her life, he suddenly knew that Dolly from Dollar General was meant to stay. The next day, he learned from animal control that she'd need to go through the shelter system first to ensure she wasn't someone's lost pet. For weeks, he visited her nearly every day, promising he'd return each time her...
Okay, hold on. It took weeks to find out if she had a home. I've found pets and taken them to my vet, and they scan it and they say, nope, no microchip. You know, that's...
Tail drooped as he left. Then, after what felt like forever, he was finally able to officially adopt Dolly. And now they go everywhere together, including, on occasion, back to Dollar General, where Dolly loves to remind everyone of her most successful shopping trip ever. I'm Jen, and I post something positive every day.
Jen, she's always doing it. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy for Dolly. How sweet is that? I'm glad they go back to Dollar General. Dolly, what a cute name. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed the show. And I hope you have a fantastic weekend. I just want everyone to know that I'm thinking of you and sending positivity, sending light your way, and just know that you're awesome. And in case anybody hasn't told you that today, now they have. And I want you to remember that. So please just be safe. Don't take any undue risks and just kind of hang out at home if there's some weather situations going on there. I just want you all to be safe, and yeah, that's it. Just have a great night, have a great weekend, and I hope you have lots of fun, get to relax, and just all good things. Hope you're feeling great, and I will see you on Monday, but probably send some sort of message over the weekend because I just can't stay away because I love you guys. So signing off, and happy Friday.